Hello, and welcome to my flower granny square headband tutorial. This is a beautiful summer project, so let's get right into it. You're going to need some yarn and a crochet hook. I am using this beautiful yarn from Vegan Yarn. It's my favorite. And I'm going to be using my 5mm crochet hook. So the first thing we're going to do is wrap this yarn around our finger very gently because we need to go through these loops here that I'll show you in the next step. So we're going to go underneath the first string of yarn, okay? Turn our crochet hook so that we have the hook side and pull that second string forward, kind of with a twisty motion as well. Then we are going to, with that twisty motion, grab that yarn that's on our yarn ball and pull it through that one loop. So we just secured that. Now we're going to go in or between that loop, grab that yarn, bring it forward, wrap that yarn around the hook again with our twisty motion and pull it through those two loops. So now that's our first stitch. So under again, grab that yarn, pull it forward, now go above, wrap that yarn around our hook and pull it through those loops. So that is literally how we are going to make our stitches here, and we need to make 8 because that's what we're going to need for our granny square. I want to also mention that this is kind of like my freehand project. I am not a professional in granny squares. This is just what I have been doing for months to years. So yeah. Now that I have my 8 stitches, we're going to pull the short end of the string because that's going to kind of close and make our circle like so. And now with our crochet hook, we're going to go across and to the top of that first stitch that we made. And so you'll see that there's all these stitches along here. And I have now 2 loops on my crochet hook, also the one that I had previously. I'm going to now wrap that yarn around my hook and pull through all of those loops. And now that fully completes the circle. And then we're going to chain up 1 and wrap the yarn around our hook, and we're going to make double crochet stitches into that first spot. So just where we're standing is where we're going to make our first double crochet stitch like so. You're going to wrap it around, pull through only 2 loops, and then you're going to wrap around again and pull through the last 2. So you're going to wrap your yarn around. We're going into the same spot, making a double crochet stitch, pull that yarn forward, wrap that yarn around your hook, pull through 2 loops only, then wrap around again and pull through the last 2. Okay, and then we're going to jump into the next spot, so our second stitch, and that's where we're also going to be putting 2 double crochet stitches in there. This is kind of us starting to make our flower petals. So we want 2 flower petals into each spot or into each stitch. So now that I've done my third one, I'm going to then make my fourth one into the same spot. And really that's what we're going to be doing for this whole row. And you're just like honestly going to keep going around and around. And this is going to be a vital part for our granny squares. So once that's done, I'm just going to be doing my one more. I have one more of the row, so I'm just going to go into there. On your last one, you want to wrap around, pull through those 2, and then stop because we need to attach the beginning with the end. So we're going to go on the top of our first stitch, just like so, like we did in the previous round. Wrap that yarn around, and then we're going to pull through all the loops again, and that's going to secure that round as well. You can pull that short string to close that circle a bit more. Now that that's done, we're going to chain up 1 again like we have been, wrap around, and we're going to make 1 double crochet stitch in where we're standing. This is going to be for the end of our granny square, but we have to do this 1 stitch. So remember this one vital stitch. Then we have to kind of wrap that yarn around again, but move over so that we can start making our granny square formation. So we have these 2 petals, right? So each 2 petals were in 1 stitch, like so, 1, 2, but we're going to make sure that we're not going in between the 2, we're going like after the 2 stitches because we want it to be very clear that this is a flower granny square. So just like so, I'm going to make 3 double crochet stitches in the middle of those 2 stitches, if that makes sense. So now I've just finished my 3 double crochet stitches there. I'm going to jump over another 2 flower petals and put 6 double crochet stitches because that's starting to show our granny area. Now that I'm done that, I'm gonna jump again over 2 flower petals and put my 3 double crochet stitches. So we're doing 3 double crochet stitches, jump over 2 petals, 6 double crochet stitches, jump over 2 petals, 3 double crochet stitches, and repeat. The only thing that's different is the end, and I'll show you that. So literally you're just going to continue doing that. I just finished 3 double crochets in the middle of the 2 petals, and I'll meet you at the end. So now that I'm at the end, so I just finished another set of 3 double crochet stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump those 2 petals like we always have been, but I have to do 5 double crochet stitches here, because remember our first vital one that we did in the very beginning, that counts for this part. So we only have to do 5 double crochets here, not 6. Once I've done my 5, I stop on that last one with 2 loops on my crochet hook, and then we attach it to the beginning of our granny square like we have been, and we pull through all of those loops. Now that that's secure, I wouldn't go ahead and chop off the yarn because I have already created my other granny squares. If this is your first granny square, then yes, you want to cut the yarn off and make another one, but I'm going to show you how to attach it to the other granny squares. So you want to have the like little tail ends facing towards us and the nice sides facing together, and then you're going to just go across, like make sure that the corners are touching, and then wrap that yarn around your hook like so, and pull through those stitches, okay? And then you just want to keep going in through one side of your granny square and across to the other side, making sure that everything is aligned, and then wrapping that yarn around your hook and pulling through, and then pulling through once more, which is a slip stitch. So we're going to continue to connect our granny squares by making slip stitches. I just love making slip stitches. They're very seamless, and they don't they're not too bulky. So I'm just going to continue doing that till I get to the end of my granny square. Okay, once I'm at the end, you're going to wrap that yarn around your hook, pull through the 1 loop, and then you're going to cut it off just like so. So you're going to need about 6 granny squares for your headband. You can obviously have more or less depending who you're making it for, but I needed 6 granny squares for my headband. Now I'm going to show you how to do like the rest of the headband. So you're going to go in like the middle of those 6 double crochet stitches, just kind of find the middle point, put your yarn on your hook, pull it through the panel, and then we're going to chain up 1. After we do that, we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook and make double crochet stitches along the side of our granny square. It's very easy to do this because you can see the stitches, like there's easy access to the stitches. I'm not sure how to word that, but you can go along seamlessly and add your double crochet stitches without any hassle. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of my double crochet stitches along this side, and I'll meet you once I hit the end of this row. Now that I've hit the end of this row, we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to wrap around, pull through those 2 loops, and we're going to turn our work around. And so now we're facing the inside of our headband. What we're going to do is skip over 1 step and go into the second one because we want to create a decrease effect. We want this to be like kind of stylish and nice. So I just did my decrease, and I'm going to wrap around and do double crochet stitches for the rest of the row, and then I'll meet you once we're on the end. Now that we're on the end, I'm going to wrap my yarn around my hook again, and we're going to make sure we go the full row because we don't want it to have this awkward slant. Once I'm done that, we're going to turn our work around, and this is where we're also going to be making another decrease. So we're skipping 1 stitch and going into the second one, and now we've just done another decrease, and then after that decrease we will go ahead and make double crochet stitches all the way to the end of the row. Now that I'm at the end of the row, that was a decrease in our previous row, so we're not going over there. We're gonna finish off this row and turn our work around, and then we're going to skip a stitch and jump into that second stitch, and we're gonna do this until we have 3 double crochet stitches left because that's how thick I wanted my headband. Obviously this pattern you can adjust it however you want, but I just wanted to work with 3 double crochet stitches because I liked the thickness of it. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to make these double crochet stitches line up with the other side first thing because we want everything to match. But my string is going to be, let me measure it for you guys. My string is going to be 10.5 inches long, so that's how long you can make yours. And once I'm done that, I'm gonna cut it off. You will tie in all of the loose strings. I kind of like the distressed look for mine, but oh my goodness, this is the beautiful headband. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, just a little fun summer project. Subscribe and I'll catch you guys later.